So today's training, I'm super excited about. I just realized how dark my screen got, but we're going to be going over referral partners. And if you've been with me for a long time, you know I'm all about how do we bring value to our referral partners, right? How do we become important to them? And I'm going to just read this off because I want you guys to understand how valuable these referral partners are. I think anybody that got the chance to go out to Atlanta, which is where I got to connect with Priscilla, um, and we started talking about this stuff. Uh, Everybody there that are high performers, they have referral partners. Like that's the bottom line, right? Everybody's called leads, everybody started somewhere, but they've built a referral network. So I'm just going to read this. This is not every week, right? It varies by week, but I'm just going to read this. This is my personal referrals. These are not splits, by the way. These are referrals, not counting what the whole agency has done. So I had one client referred to me by a mortgage partner of mine, $215,000 in assets. To meet the client's goals, we do need to use some CDs for about $90,000. So I can't get commission on that, but I'll be putting the other 120,000 in MIGAs and fixed index annuities, right? I also got a DI case, $80 a month. I got a term and 3 kids from a Medicare agent, right? Partner of mine that trusts me. I got another one of our agents that doesn't do Medicare is their dad already, we're doing Medicare. Like, hey, I'll switch my dad over to you, right? When open enrollment starts. I got another one, $173,000 that they're looking to move over from their job. Another one, this one was the biggest one, $600,000 in savings from a business owner, right? So there's plenty of money to move around. And I think there's not just going to be maybe a big whole life in that, but also some planning strategies, right? Some retirement strategies in there too. And then 125,000 in qualified money from current client. Their dad has money after I helped her. She referred me to her dad. And then one of the referral partners turned around and said, she's a P&C agent. She turned around and said, hey, I need health insurance and dental insurance for myself. That's in the last week, right? Like I cheated a little bit. That's in the last 8 days. Okay. Last 8 days. One of those, the first annuities, those ones came in on the day before, but that should give you an idea like how you want to build your business. And that's why I'm super excited for this training. I was like encouraging everybody to hop on. I know Priscilla has built a major cash flow, residual cash flow, by the way. So that's where I'm jealous because these are not all residual. Hers is actually a residual cash flow built through referral partners, through networking. And I know she's done it through the years, but she's been also very aggressive in, getting her referral network established, and she's built a system. And I was even talking to her yesterday, learning. I was like, man, I got to implement that. So anyways, I know Priscilla doesn't need a introduction. I know most of you guys know her, but Priscilla, I'm super excited for you to provide this training. I know it's going to be an immense value to the people that actually take it and run with it. And so I'm going to let you take the floor. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I really appreciate being here, y'all. Thank you so much for having me. I do want to say, like, real quick, it is like a true honor to be here. Like, if I were to think about, my first year of insurance, which is what I'm going to train you on, like, what your first year of like net relationships, building those connections, building by the most powerful form of marketing, which is word of mouth. My first year, I really wanted to quit. And so for me, like, I'm so glad that I didn't because I get to be here with you today and help be a resource for y'all. So I just want y'all to think about that. Like when you're struggling and you're, fighting for your first year, remember, like, this will be you in 5 to 7 years from now, you teaching, what I'm going to teach you today, building those relationships and just having your phone ring. Um, I've been in business, so I'll tell you a little bit of my background. I've been in business 6 years. I've done 6 million in 6 years, I average. So I was with a captive agency. I sold one product, and that's super niche, super hard. I sold one product and then I went broker about a year ago. And literally in a week, it'll be a year, which is insane that I've been with Jesse. So it's been phenomenal. Best decision I've ever made. But if I had complete it, like just completely quit, just stop selling insurance at some point, like since I built by referral and incoming business like that, I would have made 400,000 just in residual income just coming in by building those relationships. This week I'm not as organized as Michael with my business this week. I'm like, I didn't know Michael's going to do that. I should have written it down. But my business this week, I mean, just today I've gotten 4 referrals. Like, hey, I got your information from, it's always, hey, I got your information from. I can tell you how powerful that is. It is super easy to build, like once they say I got your information from, it is super easy to build that relationship with them. You already have some sort of trust there. So you're not starting from like zero. You're kind of starting from like five, like you already have some trust there. And then having that conversation with them and then getting them into a policy is almost guaranteed. Um, of course, I have, referrals that shop me too, that shop other agents also, because sometimes, they're not asking just like their financial planner or just their home and auto agent. Sometimes they're asking multiple people, like, hey, who's your agent? I will tell you for me, like once I built my farm, and I'll explain what that means. Once I built my farm, if they would ask multiple people, like those 5 people, like say they asked, like their PNC, their financial planner, their neighbor at some point, all of those people said my name. And so I'll teach y'all how to do that, but it is like really awesome. Like you stop getting them like shopping multiple agents, but even if they do, like 95% of your people are going to close, versus 10%. And for all of you, I don't recommend this being a replacement of your dialing. You should always be dialing. This is an additional leg of your business. So they say, the most sturdy chairs, right, have 4 legs of the business. So this is your fourth leg of your business. Um, so just out of curiosity, who is building relationships, networking, making connections? Who's already doing that? Awesome. Ashley, Sebastian. Michael, of course. Um, so Ashley, Sebastian, what would you say is your biggest struggle there? So I do 3 phases of my training. I do finding them, getting connected. That's the biggest thing, getting connected. I used to wear shirts like that said, let's get connected. So for me, like connection is like huge. So getting connected, um, having that initial conversation, that meaningful initial conversation, that's your second phase. And then the third is staying in front of them. So between like y'all, what would you say is your biggest struggle out of those 3?
So
Ashley, we'll
definitely
start
say
with you.
getting connected. Go ahead,
Get
Ashley.
I'm gonna say for me, it's definitely like, what am I bringing to value for them? Like besides people, like I can bring them people, but what is really going to like build that relationship, like the glue to that relationship?
Yes, I love it. I will love to train you on that today. And then Sebastian, you said getting connected.
Yeah, yeah, just creating that open door, right? When I don't do a lot of, out and about, right? A lot of it is connections. So it could be through social media, but just, getting that first step in to actually creating that partnership and kind of going from there.
I love that you said social media. I mean, social media is huge. At some point, like we're all gonna get connected from social media. I went to a conference recently. Y'all know Damon John from Shark Tank.
Yeah,
He said,
great,
which this
great.
really stuck out to me. He said, because we're meant to be connected. Like you're not meant to build this business by yourself. You're meant to, I love the quote, like, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. And that's it, you're meant to be connected. And so he said, like, with the world going digital, like, I mean, we're already pretty digital already, right? But like with the world of like AI and all of that stuff, the likelihood of AI ever replacing us is super slim, but AI will replace people that know AI. So if I know AI over newer agents that refuses to learn automation, I will probably replace those agents. AI won't replace us at all. But I like what Damon John said. He said at some point people are going to make a lot of money by like taking a walk on the street with somebody. Since since it is so like digital driven, he's like at some point people crave that connection that we'll be able to charge people like to go like on a stroll to the park. I'm like, that's cool. So, stuff to look forward there. But I love that you said social media. That's definitely huge. Um, so my biggest thing on, and then it's like, networking, BNIs, with BNI, there's a lot of networking groups like that you can join, where it's like specific, where it's, chair specific. So if I own the health chair, no other person can take that health chair. There's a lot of groups like that. I'm not part of any of those groups. You can do it without it. I'm not part of any of those groups anymore, but that's a great avenue. Um, so once you build one or two connections, so say you post on social media like Sebastian suggested, right? So say you post like, hey, I'm looking for a home and auto agent, or I'm looking for a Medicare agent. I know a lot of y'all do Medicare, but a lot of Medicare agents only do Medicare, and they need you to be able to write under 65. So they're still really good partners for you. And so when you get connected to those, this is really how I built like the whole foundation of my business. Michael and I were kind of joking about it. I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm lazy, so I'm trying to go for the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest way possible. I'm like, how do I make this like easy? Like when I was in my first year, I'm like, how can I make this more efficient, more easy? And Michael was like, what did you say? I think it was Bill Gates, you said.
I think it's Bill Gates. He says he doesn't like to he only likes to hire lazy people because they will find the most efficient way to do things and get the job done.
I feel like that's how I found I found this process.
Yeah.
So I would write all of you. I would write a list of who you want to get connected to. So for me, it was always like a financial planner. I know a lot of y'all do life insurance. Financial planners really still need us. They can't write everything. They need us. As soon as like anytime I connect with a financial planner, they're like, "Oh, good. I'm so glad you called." And they say that because no one else is calling them. That's like blue water right there. Like free, like there's like the ocean. You go into the blue water, you just have like unlimited fish. And so I remember one of my friends used to say, like with open enrollment coming up, he's like, open enrollment is like you're hanging out on the side of a waterfall and salmon are just coming down and you're like a bear just like grabbing salmon. Um, and that's how it is when you build your own blue ocean, which is like building by connection, referral partners, networking, stuff like that. So financial planners, since no one else calls them, when I call them, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we got connected. I'm so glad we called. You called. No one else calls me. Low hanging fruit, super easy. You do it from the comfort of your pajamas at home. I mean, I was like just getting ready, but like from the comfort of your pajamas at home, like make a quick cold phone call and say like, hey, like I know that you're in the neighborhood of a lot of my clients, and I want to be able to use you as a resource. So I would write down five. My five were financial planners, home and auto agents. Home and auto agents love us. Medicare agents, group health insurance agents. Group health insurance agents don't want to touch individual. Like if they do, 1,000 man groups or 50 plus is like what they focus on. But if they do 1,000 man groups, 100 man groups, they need us to write the smaller stuff. And so I have probably like five group health agents. They'll give me small groups because they're like, that's I want the bigger ones here, Priscilla. And I'm like, thank you. I'll take it. I'll take all of your individuals, I'll take all your groups, but they give me all the small groups. So group health, divorce attorneys. So family law attorneys are really good partners for us also because when people need insurance and when people get together, they need insurance. So and they're part of both of those processes. And divorce attorneys also know a lot of people. They also know a financial planner they can connect you with. So I would write down those five. I missed a fifth one, I think. Did I tell y'all five? Okay, so financial planners, home and auto agents, Medicare, group health. Um, yeah, no, I did four. So I did four, but I would write down a fifth. Like y'all think of another person. Mine might have been like a broker, because I was captive. So for y'all on the other side of it, finding a captive agent. So a captive agent would be US Health Advisors. They need a broker to work with. Finding like Globe Life is captive, Florida Blues captive, finding some captive agents are good to work with also. So that could be your fifth leg. But if you don't want those five, I would write down five specifically. You're like today, I'm going to get connected. This is not like next week, right? Today, I'm going to get connected with these 5 people. Once you get connected with those 5 people, from each of those, you're going to look to get connected to two additional people. So when you have that conversation with your financial planner, you're going to say, I'm so glad at the end, I'll explain like the whole like meat and potatoes of like the actual conversation. But you're going to finish that conversation with this sentence. You're going to say, I'm so glad that we connected today. Because remember, it's all about connection. And you're like subliminally putting that message in their head, right? Like we're all staying connected. So I'm so glad we got connected today. Who do you know that would benefit from meeting me? Who do you know that would benefit from meeting me? And when you have that solid 5, like you're like, I have this solid 5 that I want to connect with, and they kind of think, then you have to, specifics terrific, right? You have to tell them, like, you can't just say like anyone that's looking for life insurance. When they're like, well, like, who do you connect well with? Because their next question is going to be, well, who do you connect well with? Well, anyone that's looking for Medicare. And they're going to say, like, I don't know anyone that's looking for Medicare. Or like anyone that's looking for health insurance. I don't know anyone that's looking for health insurance. So that's why you want to be specific. Like, so when you have that list, if I'm talking to a financial planner, I'm like, who do you know that would benefit from meeting me? And they're like, well, who do you connect well with? And then I say like a Medicare agent. Like, I'm like, I want to meet a Medicare agent. And if they're like, well, I may not know one. Do you know a business law attorney? So now I'm looking for somebody specific. So then it's a lot easier for them to get you connected, right? So now you have 5, and then now you got 2 connections from your 5. So how many more connections do y'all have? I heard you, Ashley.
7.
So, well, so you have 5, right? And then so
Yeah.
if you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10
Oh,
more, yeah. So now you have 15 more or 15 connections total. So you started with 5, now you have 15, right? And then now you're going to get those 2 that you got connected from each, and then you're going to get connected again. So I just got 2 more connections from now. I don't do this at this level anymore because I'm kind of tapped out. I mean, we're limitless, right? But I'm kind of at a ceiling a little bit on the amount of connections. So now I don't ask for that many. I'm like, just connect me with one. Because I know that if you connect me with 3 or 4, that's going to get me pretty busy. And I have a lot of incoming business already from where I'm at. So I'm trying to get y'all to get to where I'm at, right? Where you're getting 4 or 5 referrals a day. And so when you have those 5 connections, now you're getting 2. So now you have 10. And so now you're going to ask those 10 for 2 more connections. Any questions on that part? Does all of that make sense to y'all? To me, that's like literally like on my I have a really comfortable chair that I sit on from like in my favorite drink, and I'm just getting connected, getting connected, getting connected. Like, who else do you know that would benefit from meeting me? I really enjoyed our conversation. And then to solidify that, I'm going to get them connected too. Right. And so, like, if I'm talking to a home and auto agent and they're like, well, who do you like work well with? So I ask them, I'm like, who do you work well with? And they say, I work really well with realtors. I'm going to find a realtor to get them connected so they get me connected. So everyone's getting connected. So y'all remember that everyone's getting connected, connection by connection by connection, right? So I'm like, you can go to a bunch of networking events. You can be part of a BNI. You can be or a chamber of commerce. There's other like chair exclusive networking events. Like if there's master networks. What are some popular ones in your area, Michael?
I don't do a ton of networking events. There's always BNI. I found a one that's online. It's called MNO,
Mhm.
and so I'm actually going to be joining that one. And then I know me personally, I like to work with realtors, so I gone to real estate offices and I have connections there. So
Yeah, I mean, going to a brokerage,
mhm.
and bringing them lunch. And so, we're kind of going on a tangent a little bit, but like super quick, alignable's huge. Like super quick, on that. If you go do a lunch at a brokerage, what I do, I get connected with a small business owner that owns a restaurant. So now they need insurance. If they're a small business owner that does or that owns a restaurant, they need my services. And now I'm getting them connected with a brokerage. So by default, I'm going to get everyone's business because they're like, "Oh, Priscilla got us connected." So then your name's getting called out more.
Yeah, I'll share real quick on that. If you can build those kind of relationships, I started with one real estate agent, and now I'm the financial planning life agent for that brokerage, right? For the whole brokerage. And there's a bunch of realtors in there. Like yesterday, I go there every Tuesday. I walked in, there was a new guy. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a real estate investor." And he's like, "Oh, I've actually been looking at whole life policies." Like, boom,
Boom.
got his number, and I need to set up an appointment with him for tomorrow or Friday. So
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. Martinez Lee, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I had a quick question about like any tips on keeping this organized so that you can, keep everybody connected. Like anything separate or what would you?
Yes, that's a great question. But it can get chaotic. And then you have to be really careful, like if you don't want to connect with a financial planner with another financial planner by mistake, right? And so even though they probably wouldn't care, you still need to be careful with that stuff. Um, so I just did everything on an Excel spreadsheet, and I wrote notes next to each connection. That's how I did it. Like I just kept it super simple. I know CRMs will keep you a lot more organized, and you already have Inspired CRM. That'll keep you really organized if you want to put that together too. I didn't have access to that stuff when I was new, and so I just did an Excel spreadsheet. And then once you like progress too, now my assistant organizes all of that because it gets overwhelming. And then you have incoming, like now at this point, this is how you know you've made it. Now at this point, like I'll get a connection. They're like, this financial firm from New York told me to get connected with you. And I'm like, I have no idea how that financial firm got connected with me. Like somebody, it's just like you're consistently saying, like, I work well with financial planners. I work well with Medicare. I work well with divorce attorneys. Like you're consistently saying that. And so then people are like, oh, Priscilla, like this health agent I know, she wants to get connected. So when other people are going to networking events, they're kind of doing a lot of the work for you. Now, I'm not saying like not to go to networking events, but like as everyone's networking, you can't be at like 20 places at once, right? So I'm like while everyone else is networking, I'm looking for connections for people, but they're looking for connections for me. So I'm like, I have all these marketers that are also helping me market and get connected. Alignable's huge, LinkedIn's huge, Facebook. Yeah, exactly, it's a community web. It's like the 6 degrees of separation, kind of like what they say for dating, except for business. And so, but Alignable, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, I'm like, I don't care how we get connected. I just know that we're going to get more connected. Like if I'm like, I'm grateful for the connection. And so when you're done, somebody's like, I don't need your services right now. I don't need your services right now. Like, I don't need health insurance. Like, great. Like, well, I'm like so glad that like we still had a great conversation. I always like thank people. I'm so glad we got connected, either way, even though you don't need health insurance, like if you ever like need anything further down the line, I'd love to be a resource. But like while we're on the phone, like you probably work really well with like a financial planner or home and auto agent. I know that you're self-employed, based off of like you putting your information in. Who do you know that would benefit from connecting with me while you're dialing, right? Like, who do you know that would benefit from connecting with me? And that's why I have that list of like specifically who I want to connect with. Because if I just say like, who do you know that would benefit from connect? Like, who are your friends that need health insurance? They're like, I don't know. Like, I don't even need health insurance. Like, my friends don't. Hey, who's your financial planner? And then if they don't have one, like if they're like, you know what, like if financial planner and home and auto insurance, if they're like, I don't really have one, but I'm actually looking for a quote. Well, I have a little piece of gold when I make a cold call. I'm like, hey, I have a referral. There's some value, right? So if they're saying like, hey, well, I don't have a home and auto agent. I'm like, well, you drive a car and you have a home, you probably need a home and auto agent. I connect really well with a lot of home and auto agents. So if you connect with one, get me connected. But for now, I'm going to get you connected. So if I call a home and auto agent, right, like cold call a home and auto agent in their area, and I say like, hey, I have a referral for you, they're going to give me referrals. I promise. I will bet everybody on this call money on that. I will bet you all of my residual income that they are going to send you referrals if I come with my little piece of gold, right? And so, so now I came with a referral, I added value, right? And now I say, like, who do you work well with so I can get them connected? And then who do you know that would benefit from connecting with me? I connect well with, and then go with your list. Isn't that awesome?
That's amazing. I feel like it's like the little black book, but like for connections and like the glue. And
Yes,
like I think for
absolutely.
me, probably having one of those of where I just have all my referrals and then like whatever they're, good at or whatever they do.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely. I love that. It's your little black book um of residual income. And all like I used to work in cosmetics. This might like date me a little bit, but we didn't have a CRM. We didn't have anything fancy. We like had cosmetic cards. You know how like probably back in the day y'all used to get like it's gift season, like it's gift time. Like if you buy like $100 worth of cosmetics, you get a free gift. All the ladies, we used to have cards that we would call people. And so they would say, like, in all of those connections, they're like, you smell all of the business. That's your little black book of selling. Do you smell all of the business in your black book? I mean, if all of you called like all of your connections right now, you would get a piece of business. I promise you. I promise you.
Yeah.
I work with a home and auto agent in Dallas, and he's like, when we need some more revenue, I'll call my book and I'll ask if anyone needs, it's a little bit more intricate than that, but he's like, I'll ask if anyone needs an annuity so we can get some quick residual or incoming business. So then we can use that towards like marketing or something. Because they have a book, like all of you have a book, like whether you like to admit it or not, all of you have connections, all of you do. And so like for me, like if I know that I'm like down on business, I'm like, okay, let me go back to all of my connections and see who I can get connected with. And I like every time I do that, I get a few referrals. Every time I get a piece of business, boom. Every time. I'm like, hey, it's been a little while since we got connected. I'd love to chat again. Boom, referral. How do you partner with these home and auto agents? By getting connected, by asking for connections. What is your approach to partner with them? Okay, so we're going to go into Marina. I'll go a little bit more into detail on your first question. Before we move on, because now we're going to go into like the second phase of like the actual conversation. Before we move on, what are your other questions there? Because we're going into the second phase. So before we move on,
Risky.
I'm asking everybody. I'm going to answer your question. Ashley?
Sorry, I'm like messing up on this Zoom thing. I tried to put it at the bottom, but so I know you mentioned, or maybe it was Michael, but I like missed it when you said something with the luncheon for the brokerage, and you connected the brokerage to the restaurant.
Restaurant owner, yeah.
Was that you or Michael? I'm sorry, I missed that.
That part was me, and then Michael reiterated on that.
Okay, so with the realtor, and I guess like this probably goes into the second part of like the conversation, like going into the brokerage, because that's something like I was asked and I didn't know how to navigate that.
Mhm.
So going into the brokerage, I guess like what was like that conversation like?
When you like, so first walking in,
Yeah,
um,
you already work with the realtor though, right? Or was it just like,
yeah, no, I work with realtors. Yes, most definitely. Realtors are like fantastic connections. They know everybody. They'll know the whole five people. Like if you connect with a financial planner, they might not know two out of the five. If you connect with a realtor, they'll know your whole five list and more. For a realtor, I usually don't stop at five. I'm like, what about your plumber? What about your roofer? I usually will ask more. They're very connected. Those are some of the best people you can connect with. If I just walk into a brokerage, now I recommend anyone walking in, like anywhere. Like if you see a home and auto, if you see an Edward Jones, walk in, they're captive, walk in. Um, they're excellent. They love us. Anytime I walk in and say like, "Oh, I wanted to grab some of your cards," or like, "Oh, we need your cards," it's like they're like desperate for us. So walk into all of those places. I had connected, this was when I was captive. I had connected with an Edward Jones in California, and back then I couldn't help California. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, like who do you know?" I can, like he was so excited. Like they love us. And so kind of go into that mindset. Like I'm walking into this real or this home and auto agent, this Edward Jones, this real estate brokerage. They love me. They want to meet me. They love me. And then so when you walk in, that way you have that confidence walking in. When you walk in and say like, "Hey, I was in the area. I would love to, be able to use your brokerage as a resource. I also own a business, and I would love to like bring lunch and educate your realtors on health insurance or life insurance." And then Marina, like on your home and auto agents, like I said, get connected. But I asked everyone I knew, like if I went to high school with you, we were gonna catch up. I was like, "Hey, like I'm so glad you're doing well." And I went to high school, this will date me. I went to high school 22 years ago. I graduated in 22 years ago. I graduated in 2003. And so like some of those people, like it's been a little while, it's not like I just graduated. It's been a little while since I've connected with them. But I started that conversation with like anyone. Like, I mean, all of y'all, you know what? All of y'all pull out your phones right now. Let's see. I'm gonna do a little impromptu. So you have your contacts, right? Let's see it. Maybe I can see it online. But you have your contacts. Like go to your contacts and then scroll all the way to the bottom. And then it'll tell you how many contacts you have. How many are over 50? Probably everybody, right? On this call. Is there anyone under 50? I hear those crickets because no one is under 50. Those are connections. I have 1700. Yeah, see, 1656. Anyone that I have ever met was like when I first started my first year was going to get a text of saying like, "Hey, I hope you're really doing well today. I'm really cheering for you to like kill it in your business or, kill it in your at your job today." That was it. I didn't say like, "Hey, do you need health insurance?" Like it was like, I really hope you have a freaking like, and if you're battling anything this week, I'm rooting for you. That's who I like messaged my whole contact list. And so I got a lot of feedback like, "Oh my gosh, like I hope you're doing well. It's so good to hear from you." I got a lot of responses. And then I asked them I love that y'all are telling me. I asked them who I can get connected with. So then I asked all of them, who does your home and auto insurance? Who does your home and auto insurance, right? Who does your financial planning? And if they didn't know somebody right then, I got a lot of PNC from that because everyone knows a home and auto agent. Everyone knows a realtor. Everyone knows a realtor. And so that would be good to add to your like top five, right? But if they didn't know somebody right then, like if they didn't know a Medicare agent and I asked for that or like a group health or whatever, a few months down the line, they're like, "Hey, my mom got Medicare and connected with a Medicare agent. And you told me a few months ago that you connect really well with them. So I got their information for you." They remember because you didn't just say like, "If you know anyone that needs health insurance." You asked for somebody specific. So they remember that. So even if they don't connect you right then, they'll connect you. Marina, does that answer your question? Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go into the actual conversation. So I made this checklist up. Let's see if I can share screen. There we go. Making sure y'all are seeing the right stuff here. Okay, so this is when you're having the conversation. And I can send this to you how if you want to. But this is something that after like my first year of first probably yeah, after my first year of business, I put this checklist together. So did you ask how you can help their business? That's how you're bringing value that way. Did you show an interest of their business? Asking and showing interest comes off differently. So like one thing like real quick, I can't teach y'all to care, right? Like I can't teach y'all to care. Like I can tell y'all to go through all of this checklist, but you have to genuinely mean when you're asking like how you got into business. Like you have to genuinely be interested. like I know that like when I started my business, like I had my electricity off, like I was broke and very broken. I was very broken. Like how did you start your business? I mean, the amount of stories that I got that was like incredible. Like I was genuinely interested, like why they started like their State Farm business when they got fired from their old job. Or, like why they started their merchant services business or why they went into real estate. Like people go into real estate because not because they love to sell houses, it's because they don't want to work for somebody anymore. So it's what got you here? What got you here? So genuinely showing interest is what's going to help you. So asking like what motivates them, what decided to go into your line of business, what keeps them motivated, who's their favorite client. If I ask who their favorite client is and we have a mutual client, ask them to get connected. So if they say like, oh, my favorite client I work a lot with realtors. Like I would love to be connected to some of your realtors, ask for connections. So if they say, my favorite client is like, I really focus a lot on tech, people that work in IT. Awesome. Those are great clients of mine too. So who your favorite client is? Were you specific in looking for your clients' introductions to referrals? Did you ask what networking groups they're in? Invite yourself. If they're local or digital, then invite yourself. I'm not shy when it comes to going to their networking events. Be like, oh, awesome. When do y'all meet? I would love to join you. And then do you invite them to your networking events, invite them to yours. Like if you're out and about, like if you're going to a networking event by yourself, it can be a little intimidating. But if you made a connection and you want to go to a networking event, now you have a friend to go with, and you're gonna be able to tackle the room so much better by bringing a friend. And so if you bring a friend to a networking event, right, like you're making different connections. So you make different connections and then you get each other connected. Did you set up a meeting from a current meeting? That goes into the follow-up. So anytime I like quick side note, anytime that I have like a meaningful conversation with somebody, right? And I tell you how I work with clients, like I say, like, I give the best customer service, like clients don't lose me after like the enrollment process, like they know that they can call me at any time, and I never call you again. I'm teaching you by my actions that I'm never going to call a client back again. So for me, like if I enjoyed that conversation, I'm like, hey, let's put something on the calendar so we stay connected. Did you ask for a social media post? So I have them post for you on social media. Be like, I would love to post you. The more connected you get, that harder that kind of gets because there's like I probably have like 400 State Farm agents that are friends with me on Facebook. Obviously, like I don't post all of their business. So what I say is that I will have somebody in their area that has a Nextdoor app post their business in their Nextdoor to refer their business. So that way they're getting posted, and then I'll ask if they can post my stuff on social media too. Get connected on social media. Did you ask if you can do live Zooms? So we're recording this. Like Michael and I will probably post this somewhere. I do that with y'all can look at my Facebook or LinkedIn. I've done that a lot with home and auto agents and financial planners and life insurance agents and Medicare agents, like where we do a seminar and then we post it on social media. That's helping each other and adding value. And then did you send them a thank you card? Thank you cards are huge. I mean, what's the last time any of y'all got a card in the mail? Right? So that'll help you stand out. Yeah, when are we going?
Yeah, I'm gonna add to that. Caleb is on the call and he knows a lot more than I do with how TikTok works. I am not on the platform. He's like, we're like, let's do a live. He goes, okay, well, I'll invite this person, this person, this person because they have this many followers, that many followers, and it will notify them that that person is live. And so, um, remember, you don't have to be the expert. Connect with people that are better than you in other areas, right? And so that would be another piece of advice I can give. If you know somebody who's really good with social media, connect with them, and they can actually help you expand your social media game. So just always look for people that are further ahead in areas where you lack. You don't have to improve that skill set. You can leverage that skill set.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Um, I mean, and it's huge on It's huge, like TikTok, like going live like that. Like all of that stuff adds value to their business too. Like in it'll help you like stay relevant on social media. Um, Somebody said referral program. So for just so y'all know, because I get asked this a lot, just so y'all know, I don't pay for referrals. I've had a lot of agents that because then you start getting sometimes into a like a bidding war. They're like, well, this one health agent pays me 100 or 500 or something weird, 500 per referral. And I'm like, well, I give a lot of value. I know my shit. And so if you see more value in money than you do on the services that I provide, then I might not be the right fit for you. I'm okay with that. That's the thing. You're not going to be the right fit for everybody. But the more you get connected and the more warm introductions you get, the more that you will be. Like it'll be more than not, I guess. Um, but if you want to pay like here and there, like I'm not going to judge you. You can pay for your referrals if you want to. You're not, as long as they're licensed, you're not capped. If they're not licensed, and that's what's so great sometimes about captive agencies, they can't take referral bonuses anyway. But if you're not if you are capped, so if they're not licensed, you can take them out to lunch or like send them a edible arrangement. Like I have a group of 20 that I insure and I send them like chocolates and stuff here and there, like, or I send them like magnets and stuff like, so that way, like they feel good, and they have my information if they need it. But most of the time, like if I send them like one open enrollment, I sent all of my referral partners cups that said like it had like a little like quote on it and then it said like all of my information like Priscilla the health agent. I had a logo made and then I had like my email address and phone number and I had like probably like 10% of them go on social media and they're like thank you for my cup on social media. I was like yes, it's working. um and so but that is really good too. I give a Starbucks gift card a page and see what happens. Yeah, boom. Beautiful. I love it, Judith. That's awesome. Like $10 Starbucks gift card's great. Like have a cup of coffee on me. I was thinking about you today and I wanted you to have a cup of coffee on me. Beautiful. Um, there was something else I was going to say about home and auto agents. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Before I forget. Um, this is really valuable information. Y'all don't forget this. So if you connect with a home and auto agent or like a cap like Edward Jones, they typically only work in that one state. So they're like only in that area. Ask them to get you connected to their friends in other states. So like if you connect with like a State Farm agent that is like incredible, be like, "Hey, I want to meet your State Farm friends. I'm licensed in 42 states. Do you have somebody in North Carolina?" And remember, be specific. Don't just like connect me with whoever. Do you have somebody? I'm trying to grow my presence in North Carolina. Do you have a State Farm agent that you trust that I can get connected with? Oh, we're running out of time. We're fast and furious here. Okay, so I'm going to do the last phase. Thank you. I think it's gold too. I love this is like my favorite. This is my favorite leg of the business. Um, so the last phase is staying in front of them. I do it in the power of four. Okay, so if you have a meaningful conversation with them that week, that's touch point one. So you need four touch points that week. They say on average it takes 7 times for people to say your name in their head for them to remember you. So now you're gonna say it at least 7 times, right? So for me, power of four. So I had one touch point, which is the conversation. Second touch point is I add them on social media. So like LinkedIn, Facebook, Alignable, get them connected. The third one is I sent a thank you card. And then the fourth one is I get them connected with someone else. So that's four touch points, right? Or you can do like, I mean, the amount of ways you can follow up, or you can do like a summary. I used to do this a lot too the first week. I still do it, but I used to do this a lot on the first week. Is like I would do a summary of our conversation, be like, hey, I really enjoyed our conversation. And then I would do a summary of how the conversation went. Like I would say, like, you said you connect really well with realtors. Like I will keep that in mind when I'm out and about networking. Like just a reminder, like these are the 5 people that I connect really well with. So I would give them like a summary of our conversation on that email. So that was the fourth touch point. And so now the reason why I use four is because we have 4 weeks in a month, right? So then those extra weeks. So for the first week, and then second week, third week, fourth week, once each of those weeks, and then once a quarter after that. There's 4 quarters in a year. So 4 in 1 week, 4 times in a month, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then once a quarter, 4 times a year. I might blast them a little bit more during open enrollment. So we might get a fifth. But if you're getting connected, you're gonna like chat with them more. Like it's gonna be probably more than once a quarter. And if they're sending you referrals, you're definitely gonna chat more. Or if you're sending them connections, you're gonna chat more. That's just like by default, like at minimum. Like if we're not like getting connected, we're not like vibing with each other, a minimum, I'm still reaching out to you once a quarter. Yeah, Marina, I can send it to you. Any questions on that? Marina, put in your email address. If anyone wants my checklist, put in your email address in the chat. I'll take a picture of it and send it to all of y'all. Only y'all get, since you were present, only y'all get the gift of my checklist since you were present. So I'll give it a second. Any questions on the follow-up there? Yeah, the big one is staying in front of them, like keeping your promises. If you promise to, like, if you say, like, my promise is to stay connected with you and build relationships, and you don't follow up with that, like I said, you're teaching them how you're going to teach you're teaching them how you're going to treat one of their clients. They're not going to be very likely to send you anyone. I wouldn't. Like if you just fell off the face of the earth, I'm not sending you anyone. So I'm going to take a picture of all of these email addresses. While I'm taking a picture of all of these email addresses, what are y'all's questions on the whole training?
I'll ask
My
a question.
question, Priscilla, would be like, what do you do to, yeah, remind yourself? I know you said the spreadsheet. Are you using like any tools like Go High Level, automations? Hey, I added this. You know what I mean? I look for ways to make it easy, so I
Yes.
blend on that. I'm like, you know, I've got very little referral partners, but just the little, the very little that I do have, they can account for a large portion of business that come in. So I can only imagine if that, if that grows. But sometimes it can be a little bit of a job just checking in, and I'm not the
Mhm.
best at checking in.
No one is. No one is. That's why
Yeah,
I asked about if y'all had questions on follow-up. That's where everyone drops the ball, is there.
yeah. I've
Um,
dropped many good potential connections where I just things fell through the cracks and just I'm like, ah, damn, I forgot to hit up this person. You know what I mean? And it's like
mhm.
months later, and I realize.
Yeah. Now, if you're getting them connected, essentially people are like doing a lot of that follow-up for you, because you're
Hmm.
already getting them connected. So that helps tremendously. But I was old school and I need to use Go High Level. I need all of that stuff because I used an old school Excel spreadsheet and I would go every quarter and see who I like sent information to, like and put like a little like color coded like check, old school like that. My assistant manages all of that now. But before that, like I would do Inspired, I would do Go High Level, I would find all of your automated resources. Now I wouldn't use unless you have good automation that is very trained on how you speak when it comes to like sending emails and stuff like that. Then do that. But if not, I would go back and make sure that you're altering that because it's very obvious if it's not you, if it's not like well trained. Ashley?
Yeah, so I do have a question with the sending out a card, right? Because I really don't remember the last time I received a card.
Yep.
Um, are you doing that for each and every person that okay, so
Mhm.
our first five, right? And then
Mhm.
the two from each one, we're sending them to everyone. Okay, perfect.
Yes. Yeah, like I'll show you, let me pull up a picture. This is from this quarter. And I don't work it as aggressively as I used to because of the amount of incoming I have. My assistant sent me, this is for this quarter. This is all the thank you cards I sent out. So yes, I mean, this is work. It is work, but it is fun work and It'll change your life.
Yeah, I was going to ask Priscilla, as far as if you don't mind expanding a little bit more on the value that you bring to your partners, obviously the connections are super valuable. Um, what else do you bring? Like, let's say you're going to talk to a PNC agent. Like,
Mhm.
what is it? Um, can you dive deeper, like what you share as far as the value that you're going to bring to their business?
Yeah, yeah. So a few things on that. So we'll start first, like with home and auto agents and financial planners specifically. The more lines of insurance you have with someone, the more likely they're going to keep them. That is everyone's goal. Like if you work in, we don't work in insurance, so we can work forever. Like none of us do. We work in insurance, so we build cash flow and in connections, residual income, so that way at some point we can sit on a yacht and we're getting paid to sit on that yacht, right? I know I'm not the only one that it has that mindset. And so, and so they all have that mindset too. Financial planners and like they will tell you, they're like, I want to build to this so I can do this. Like they will all tell you that, right? And so you're that extra line of insurance for them. You're that extra line. So the likelihood of like them losing a client because of the value that you bring is far slim, is a lot slimmer. So if I have a financial, well, let's start with home and auto. So if I have a home and auto agent and they have, 5 lines of insurance and I'm the extra line of insurance, that client has to go in. They're not just canceling one thing. That client has to go in and cancel every single thing and call me and cancel. So I'm helping them with retention. And then from a financial planner standpoint, if I'm saving them any money on health insurance or putting them in a better position where they don't blow that whole financial plan, right? Because we know that medical debt or not being properly covered with life insurance, that will put them in a bad spot. And so what's the point of building this whole financial plan if they're not properly protected? And so financial planners know that. And so they know that that part. And then they also know that if I save them any money, that financial planner is going to take that money that I saved and put it back into their financial plan. And so then I'm an extra resource for them to help them make more money by managing more of their money. But the client wins. Everybody wins. I get an extra client. I help that client save money, some in most cases. They have more money in their financial plan. The financial planner makes more money, and the client's in a better spot all around. So adding value there. Um, and then if I don't have somebody like say like by default, I don't have somebody that I can connect them with, I don't have referrals, then I offer my time. So then I say, how can I like a lot of like you can go like to like a car show and there'll be like a State Farm tent. Like they're everywhere. And so I'm like, well, I know that you like to do a lot of your marketing that way. Let me go help you. Let me go like set up your tent. Let me go like help promote you. I know that like you go like to door knock. I'll go door knock with you. So offer like some of your time there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll share real quick. Priscilla and I were talking about this yesterday. And this is the advice I'm gonna give. Your five people, your 5 categories of people that you're asking for referrals for, master what they do. Like understand their business. Take them to lunch. Like ask them about their business. I know Priscilla gave you a bunch of great questions to ask, but be very intentional about understanding the problems and issues that they face. So that way, when you have the conversation, you already know like how you can bring value. And I'll share, one of the reasons I connect with a lot of like real estate and mortgage people is because I understand their business, right? And so when I'm talking to a real estate agent, I'll ask them a question. I'll say, hey, have you ever had a client? Now, keep in mind, this is for the life side, right? This is a little bit more of the financial planning stuff, but I'll ask them, hey, have you ever had a client walk into an open house and they were very interested, but they weren't ready to buy? And every real estate agent I've ever asked that to has said, yeah, right. Yeah, of course. And because people are looky loos all the time, right? And I said, well, look, what I can do is I can help you uh, bring more sales into your business. I can help you with retention. I can help you prepare those clients to buy. Because one of 2 things is going to happen, right? They're going to go home and they're not going to change anything. They're not going to come up with a plan. You're going to see them in an open house 5 years from now, and they're going to be in the exact same position, right? They're still interested. They would love to be homeowners, but they're still not ready. Nothing's changed. The other thing that's going to happen is they're going to go home. They are going to make a plan, right? They're going to start saving for a down payment. They're going to start taking care of their debts so they can qualify, have a great debt to income ratio for the loan, right? They're going to get all prepared to buy real estate. And 3 to 4 years from now, they will be ready. Except, let me ask you, do you think they're going to remember you or whatever realtor is in front of them at that time? So by bringing me in to help them plan more efficiently and help them get more clarity as part of your team, well, I keep them in your pipeline because as soon as they're ready to buy, by the way, I connect them with your mortgage guy too, because we need to know what the target is. So we're going to ask, and now there's going to be a relationship of three, right? You, your mortgage, and myself as part of your team. Well, guess who they're going to go back to when they're ready? So we've kept them in your pipeline. And by the way, when they send me a referral because their brother needs insurance or their mom needs their will and trust done, right? Or they need Medicare, whatever it is, guess what? You're the one that referred me that person. Guess what? As I expand your network for you into their family, guess what gets those referrals too? We find out, oh, they need a refi. It's going to go to your mortgage guy. They need to sell or buy. It's going to go right back to you. So I'm going to actually expand your network too. And those are the different ways I can bring value to your business and put more sales in your future.
Beautiful.
And I want you to notice how different that conversation is versus, hey, I know you guys got a bunch of homeowner clients. Do you guys sell any homes recently that people need mortgage protection? Like completely different conversation, right? That conversation, they're going to be like, they might want their clients to have mortgage protection, but they're probably going to push you away, right? Versus what can I bring to your business? And that has to be the focus.
100%. I mean, it's one of those things like always working on sharpening your skills. Like I thought that was so powerful with Michael. Like Michael and I learned from each other and we're on our 7th year of insurance. Like always be growing and evolving. That's going to help you grow tremendously in your business. One acronym that I'll use real quick is FORM. So always ask about their family, how they got into the business, occupation, what they do recreationally. If you go play pickleball with them, they're not going to refer anyone else. What they do recreationally, and then what keeps them motivated. Well, that's all we got. We could probably talk about this all day long, but all we had was an hour. So
No, I really do appreciate you, Priscilla, doing this training. I know you're somebody I'm I'm learning from you, right? And I'm excited about that because your success speaks for itself. And so, just to one more piggyback on that is your network is value, right? So like build it up. My realtor, she sends out the thank you cards. She does a Facebook appreciation group. And then she just told me, she's like, hey, I can help you train the agents to do their own groups. And she does over 100 in real estate. We're talking about, this is huge, over 100 deals a year as a realtor, which there's not a lot of realtors that do that, right? And so how does she do that? It's by the relationships. And we had a dinner, by the way, Priscilla was mentioning they have at least 5 people. She had 33 people at that dinner. She says, this is what it takes for me to do what I do. And from the plumber to, the inspector to the mortgage guy, myself, right? Like all the different people that play a role in her life were there. And there truly is a deep network if you can make your way into those spaces, right? So just bring value. And if you have any questions, just reach out. I know Priscilla's always makes herself available. I'm always available. So if nothing else, let's have a great rest of the week. And
Martinez, occupation and motivation. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
Well, I had a lot of fun. If y'all need anything, I'm going to send y'all that checklist. If y'all need anything, feel free to shoot me a text or give me a call.
Thank you.
Bye,
all right,
y'all.
guys. Bye.